On this sheet we'll be looking at a few different calculation methods under evaluating projects for questions like these. First one is the average return method. While it's not displayed over here, I'll just give you a rundown on if they do ask it. You input your initial investment up here for the two projects, compared A and B, and then your years of cash flow for each one. There are tips on how to input each table on the right hand side here. So we've gone ahead and inserted the year value, the initial investments, the project returns, get the average return, and then tip, select the highest average return. In this case, project B would be selected. Then next up is the payback period. The payback period method is the time taken to recover the initial investment of the project. So again, the tips are over here, so insert the year column here, and then ensure this year 1 is a 0 as this is your initial investment. Then I'm just going to go ahead and insert these cash flows quickly. Then that'll show you the negative final year over here is 2, added with next year's cash flow gives you a final answer of 2.36 years. There's conditional formatting on these cells to highlight when the change occurs. The discounted payback period, while it isn't asked over here, I'd just like to show you using these values. The discounted payback period is based on discounted cash flows at the cost of capital. So it calculates the expected number of years required to recover the initial investment. So once again, we just go over to the side here, look at the table, insert the years in the left-hand column, we've done, ensure year 0 has a minus, and then we can begin to insert the cash flows. So I'll just copy them over from the net present value over here, and do that there. Then this is going to show you the discounted cash flow for each year, as well as the cumulative discounted cash flow. Over here, there's conditional formatting to highlight the initial investment, the years it's not yet been recovered, and when they do break even over here. So the final negative year is 2 over here. Then next year's discounted cash flow, dividing the unrecovered amount, gives you a final answer of 2.74 years. This discounted payback period has also been coded to ensure that if the project does not break even and recover the initial investment, that it will display so. So over here we see that we should reject if it exceeds the question's limits. Project does not recover means it exceeds the 5 years payback period time. So if I just change some of these to a 0, you can see the discounted payback period slowly increasing until eventually it exceeds the 5-year mark, no longer able to recover the initial investment within the 5 years, in which case it will display that the project does not recover. The next one over here is the net present value method, as they ask for over here for 5 marks. The NPV is a financial metric used to determine the current worth of an investment by calculating the difference between the present value of its expected cash inflows and the present value of its cash outflows over a specific period. So I'm just going to go ahead and input the numbers into the boxes here. Now that I've updated the values in the blue block over here, I just need to change the cost of capital to be pegged at value of 11%. Then you'll get your answer here of 4,782,098 Rand 26 cents, following these steps over here. The lower the discount rate equals a higher NPV, so accept if positive and reject if negative. In this case, we'd accept the project. The final table over here is the internal rate of return, the IRR. It measures the expected annual growth rate of an investment by finding the discount rate that makes its net present value 0. So it's the same question over here for 3 marks. I'm just going to go ahead and copy these numbers here down into the table here. Change the cost of capital over here. While it doesn't impact the final answer here, we'll give you an answer of 38.64%.